Alright, now we're gonna go on with what we do. TOEFL Math Reading Advanced Level, Taiwan Publishing. Alright. Today is Chapter 4, Mastering the Subject D, on page 159. Possibilism and Actualism. Be careful, this passage is very abstract and notional. Actualism is the philosophical thought that puts the existence of the actual world and the people living in it as the basis. All right. Posit means suppose or assume something as the basis of a theory or a belief. Okay. Inhabitants are the people who live somewhere. Philosophy is the study of basic things such as the nature of existence, thought, or knowledge, and the way we should live in this world. Possibilism is the philosophical idea which accepts that other things can exist beyond what is known to exist. Position means having a certain opinion. The two thoughts are very different to each other, are very different from each other, and they have created a philosophical puzzle. Contrast means being very different when compared. Okay. Conundrum is a puzzle or a problem which is very difficult to solve. Actualists ask how anything can exist beyond what already exists, when possibilists think how people can know that everything which exists is all that will ever exist. Okay? Ponder means to think about something carefully. So what is the paragraph about? Actualism and possibilism, right? The paragraph is about these two philosophical ideas. Actualism puts the existence of the actual world as the basis for the theory, while possibilism accepts that other things can exist beyond what is known to actually exist. The two thoughts are very different from each other, and they have created a philosophical puzzle. Actualists ask how anything can exist beyond what already exists, when possibilists ask how people can know that everything that exists are all that will ever exist. Do you understand? Okay. The actualist's basic principle is that there's nothing which is not actual. Tenet is the main principles on which a theory or a belief are based. Okay. The possibilist's reaction to this idea is formed on the thought of possible worlds, which is based on modal realism. Modal is the adjective of mode. Mode is a state of something that exists. All right. So in this notion, there can be different states where something exists. Do you understand? Different versions of something existing. Notion is thought. Okay. The thought that other worlds exist is called modal claim or modal belief. In the statement, in the sentence, it's possible that other worlds exists. the expression it is possible means a mode of thinking, a version of thinking, all right? In which someone who is reasonable, who uses logical reasoning, believe there's a possibility that something could be true based on his experiences before. The expression "it is possible" it means it indicates a version of thinking, right? And in this thinking, a person believes that there's a possibility that something can happen based on his experiences before. For example, the statement "it's possible that it will rain tomorrow" it's based on the experience of having seen or felt rain in the past, joined with the knowledge that at any day it can rain again. All right. So in the statement "it is possible that it will rain tomorrow," this statement is based on two things. One thing is the experience of having seen or felt rain before, and the other thing is the knowledge that on any day it can rain again. So what is this paragraph about? The actualists think that there's nothing which is not actual, while the possibilists think that there's something such as possible worlds based on modal realism. Okay, and like in the expression "it is possible that other worlds exist," the expression "it's possible" it indicates a version of thinking. Okay, where somebody using logical reasoning believes there's a possibility that something can happen based on his experiences before. Logical reasoning, logical means being reasonable or sensible, and sensible. Reasoning means thinking in a reasonable or sensible way. Okay, and for example, in the statement "it's possible that it will rain tomorrow," it's based on two facts. One of which is the experience of having seen or felt rain before, and the other thing is the knowledge that on any day it can rain again. All right. So if you say "it is possible," it implies that there's a chance that something can happen based on somebody's experience before. And if you say "if it is possible that it will rain tomorrow," it's based on two things. That somebody has the experience of rain before, and then the knowledge of that person thinking that on any day, it can rain. Okay. All right. The main supporter of modal realism and possible worlds was American philosopher David Lewis. He insisted the word "actual" was indexical. Meaning it indicated, it means a state of being. All right. Indexical means it can be known. The usage, the meaning of a word can be known by the context. It's different by the context. That's what indexical means. In his thought, non-actual objects were simply just not there, but It doesn't mean that they don't exist at anywhere else. Lewis thought of possible worlds as really existing worlds. He thought that possible worlds were similar to actual world, and only their elements were different. Okay. So-called means generally referred to as. Content is what something includes. All right. When he was asked what he thought about what he thought they were in detail, he said that he had no idea and no way to find out. And if he gave the impression that he knew that in detail, knew of the possible worlds in detail, it would be just using his imagination and saying what people wish to hear, but it would not be true. Okay? Lewis also insisted there were limitless number of possible worlds, and they were separate from one another in time and space. So what is this part about? It's about the main supporter of modal realism and possible worlds, who was American philosopher David Lewis. Proponent is someone that actively supports something, right? He said the word actual is, the meaning of the word actual is different by the context. And it indicates a state of being. Do you understand? So, if there's different versions, right? The actual world can apply to this or this world or this world. Do you understand? So in this world's point of view, this world would be actual. But in this world's point of view, this world would be actual. Do you understand? He thought non-actual objects were simply not there, but it doesn't mean that they don't exist anywhere. Lewis believed that possible worlds are same as really existing worlds. He believed that possible worlds are similar to actual worlds, and only the content was different. And when he was asked what if he knew them in detail, he said that he had no idea, and if he gave the impression that he knew about them in detail, it would be only using his imagination and saying what people wanted to hear, but it would not be true. And he insisted there was limitless number of possible worlds, and they were separate from one another in time and space.